Blessings, everyone, and welcome to your reading. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We have quite a big message for you today. You can see here that we have a number of cards, and I love that we've got our Sekhmet beautiful Strength Major Arcana here at the end as our closing card, which is so perfect, right? And we are going through a huge transition at the moment. There is so much going on. We have our beautiful new moon in Libra coming up, and there's just so many shifts energetically that we're all being kind of called into a huge reflection on balance is what I have just really been feeling into this month. It's been a huge month, and it's now about rebalancing where we're at, making sure that we're in alignment ourselves. And so I invite you to feel into that balance energy before it disappears and we head into Scorpio energy. Okay, let's have a look at this beautiful reading to start with. Having that Seven of Wands right at the beginning, that feeling of being absolutely cornered. And it is a wand, so it is about that deep knowledge and wisdom, right? It's where we feel trapped, and we know that we have the capacity, the resources to really get ourselves out of this. It is a 7, so it is when we're looking at further down the track, things are starting to integrate. We really have a deeper understanding. But we're being asked to really reevaluate, where are we feeling trapped? Where are we feeling like we are being pushed into a direction where we don't feel we want to go? When we know that it's not for us, and yet it feels like the whole world's against us. It feels like no matter what we want, it's not actually available to us. And that's where that beautiful Four of Discs comes in, and we kind of travel up the frequency level here, ladder here. We're really focusing here on, building that, having control over our resourcing, our time, and making sure that we're standing in our power and being able to balance everything that is available to us. It's about really stepping into our own energy and really focusing on that strength and that Sekhmet energy, which is extremely strong and extremely powerful. And that is the boundary keeper. Boundaries don't necessarily mean that they're like a nasty sort of thing that you're taking away from anyone. You can very well look at boundaries as a line in the sand that only you see. They're just lines that you don't want anyone to cross, lines that you're not going to cross, and that you can stand in your power, because you know what? When we are clear, everyone else really knows where we're at. So we don't get to this point where we feel trapped, where we feel burdened. Because I'm really getting from Spirit this week, this is about making sure we're not welcoming in these situations because we haven't been clear. We haven't used our resources correctly. We haven't been managing things and balancing things in our lives. And it gets to this where people actually don't know what our boundaries, what our lines are. And then we turn into this lion and we're rah at everyone. And then it's like, whoa, where did that fire come from? When it could have been avoided. If you are exhausted, let me give you permission to say no. If you do not feel like you have the capacity to cook the dinner, to go to the party, to iron the shirt, to go to work that day, not every day, one day. If you don't have the capacity to go and help someone in need, Don't put yourself in this situation. Don't put yourself in a situation where you will become reactive, where you will become resentful. Utilize your balance. Utilize the resources you have. Get takeout. Send some flowers with a note to say, I'm sorry. I'm unable to hold space for you today. I'm coming over to see you next week. In the meantime, I hope these cheer you up. That will mean so much more to your friend than going and sitting there and being so depleted that you can't show up for yourself. They don't want that for you. So it's not selfish to put our oxygen mask on first. It's not selfish to utilize our resourcing and find our balance and do a stock take of that. And it's certainly not selfish of having some lines in the sand and some really clear boundaries for those around you. Because on Thursday nights when you get home, and maybe Thursdays are big for you, and there's an expectation that you're going to sit down at the table and maybe someone else is cooking the dinner and you're having a seat there and you've got to listen to the whole day's events and you've got to hold space for those people and in your home, and you've just sat through traffic, you've just had a big day. Thursdays are your big 12-hour days and it's really hard to do that. It's okay to say, look, Thursdays aren't great for me. I'd actually love on Thursdays if we could all just do our own thing. Let's just have takeout Thursdays and we all go to our own spaces. Or let's on Thursdays, you guys go ahead and do a big family dinner. I'm just going to grab a salad and go and take a bath, because that's what I need to be able to turn up for Fridays. So feel into this, feel into what's being called for you at the moment, what's out of balance, what resources you need to tap into, and how you can set those beautiful, strong boundaries. So much love. Have a brilliant week.